You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Dragonbreath Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Solstice Eve. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Yeah, it turns out it was the music. So, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alrighty. So there'll be very little music for this run. Hey, why not? Let's have some fun. One Orcish Brew and one Dragonbreath Special for me. An authentic Dragonbreath Special? That might actually be nice, though I can already tell Darwin's gonna regret it. Fine then, the Dragonbreath Special as well. Darwin side-eyes me. I've been told before that my antolin, when spoken with the proper inflection, sounds to foreigners like I'm gargling salt water. Ella seems equally taken aback. I might have got my hopes too high there. Hold on, say that again? I asked for the Dragonbreath Special as well. No, and the antolin. I'm sorry, my antolin's not great, but this is big. I've always wanted to improve it, now I finally know their speaker. Say it again. Fine then, the Dragonbreath Special as well. I say it slower, trying to enunciate each individual word as clearly as possible. The more I focus on speaking naturally, the odder it feels. I'm not used to making these sounds. My antolin might be rustier than I thought. It makes me feel lacking in some way, which I don't think I have the patience to fully work out. Okay, got it. Sorry, my antolin's not that great. Grab a seat and I'll come by the drink soon enough. Impressive. Far from it. It was quite a miserable performance, really. You should be thankful you don't speak antolin. And I should be thankful that no other native speakers here to judge me for it. Well, I, for one, would love to be able to communicate via gargling. It sounds like quite the useful talent. Never found a use for it myself. In part because it doesn't work that way. We find a small table by the side and sit down. There's somewhat of an awkward air between us. I wonder what I'm even here to do. I asked Darwin out mostly on a whim, but I'm not sure what I even want here. At the very least, he could be a one-night stand, I suppose, though I don't recall him being all that impressive last time, and back then the thought of not doing anything again felt worse than the prospect of suffering through an awkward evening. Maybe I just did this for the sake of it. So, Darwin slams his hands on the table as if to emphasize his statement and gather my attention. Here's an idea, so that we can get to know each other better. How about we ask each other questions, one by one, as invasive as you like them to be. I won't falter. And he expects me to respond honestly and kind? I'm sure there's lots that an academic like you would want to ask a werebear, isn't there? He's got me there. Heh, sure. 2 Orcish brews coming right up. With a thud, 2 flagons practically overflowing with foam find their way to the table. Just in time. We share a celebratory first sip, and then Darwin turns to me. So, what have you got? Well, I'm thinking you go first. I don't want to misjudge the level of questions we're operating at. Darwin stops to think for a moment. Alright, first question coming right up. Is it true that Dragonkin can't throw up? Second, y'all. Alright. Never been asked that one before. Well, yes. No, that is to say, we can throw up, that is. Though it feels like a bastardization of the far more frequent question of do Dragonkin not have a gag reflex? Though fire might come out as well, so better not to test it. Oh shit, really? Yeah, it's... The two things are pretty much linked. You do one, you gotta do the other just a bit along the way. And that's why Dragonkin don't have a gag reflex? Ah, there it is. Nope, I'm just that good. And the consequences for messing up and retching along the way could be disastrous. I see. Now, my turn to answer. Alright. Well, he practically asked for questions about the whole werebear thing, no? I guess the thing I'm most curious about is how it all feels, you know, being a Therianthrope. The transformations, the cravings, the bracelet of binding, is it really that bad? Darwin's cheer fades slightly as I say that. He takes a long sip of his drink. I probably should have thought it through a bit more before asking this. I never got to actually have a chat with a Therianthrope about it, just heard stuff. Well, saying that, Darwin grasps his right arm, right below where the bracelet of binding is situated. I see the magic circles engraved into it glow slightly. It could be worse, but it chafes and hurts just a bit too much when I'm transforming. I think the size-changing enchantment on mine might have worn off. And there's the regular effect, yeah? Suppressing transformations? Supposedly, but it's more than it suppresses your emotions. Actually, no, that's not right. You can't get resolution. The feelings don't go anywhere. Anger or discomfort or pain or sadness. It's It's just always there until you finally get to transform. But after 20 or so years, you just learn to ignore it along the way. See, transformations and emotions are tied together. Transforming is a way to release these emotions. That make any sense? I think so. It's not all terrible, yeah? Even with all the pain, all the discomfort, all the stupid rules about having to set aside time every week to let myself be locked in a cage just so that I can transform. Well, I still don't regret getting infected. After all, I helped protect quite a few people when it all happened. Oh, well, you do seem like the type for heroics. Ha! So back then I was still a guard, so I was on duty in the Snow District, and... Actually, it's a bit of a depressing story, so I'll spare you the details. But anyways, I usually had Julia with me when I was transforming, so it was actually pretty nice. Even managed to convince the mage who was usually in charge of me to leave the two of us alone, eventually, so we could have some privacy. Though that's not really relevant anymore. I assume Julia is the name of his dead wife. That's worse than I thought. Darwin shrugs. Come on, it's not as bad as it sounds. I make a big deal of it, but at least I get to transform every week. I've been living with it for decades now, so I've got a good enough grip on this whole werebear thing that it doesn't really affect me. Second, y'all. Water time. And, well, it's a wonder that I even get to stay here in the first place. I don't imagine other cities are particularly welcoming to therianthropes, since they're bound to transform involuntarily whenever they feel strong emotions or something like that. And then things are likely to get violent, and... Well, it's good that the guild's contributions allow me to avoid that at least, no? I have to wonder if that's really all Darwin feels, but I don't have long to ponder. Ella quickly coming along with 2 tall, thin glasses full of red liquid. Now, for the Dragonbreath Special. She places down the 2 glasses in front of us. The pungent stench of alcohol, cinnamon, and soup from the drink quickly wafts over to us. Darwin scrunches his nose. It seems shockingly accurate to what I remember. Well, Darwin, you asked for the Dragonbreath Special, and now you're getting it. I take it to mean that it's accurate. As authentic as any I've seen. Gotta say, I'm actually looking forward to trying it. Darwin gives it another sniff and practically withers. I've heard it's one of those flavors that those who aren't dragonkin can never understand. You ought to huck it all down, and you ought to huck it all down in one swig, by the way. Cheers? I raise the glass. Darwin responds in kind, though it's certainly forced. Cheers. I slam the drink down my gullet before slamming the empty glass back onto the table. It has that familiar setting your mouth on fire quality to it that every good Dragonbreath Special has. Ah, fuck! That's... I have to stop to cough for a moment. That's good! That's a Dragonbreath Special, alright. When I look up, I realize that Darwin is also violently hacking, having fully thrown up as soon as he drank it. Ella is attending to him. Shit, should have probably expected that. I try to get up, though my head is already spinning from the drink. I have to hold on to the table for support. Hold on. Fuck. Darwin, are you alright? Ugh, wow. Well, that was strong. Probably a bit too much for my taste, huh? It seems to be dealing with it alright, at least. Sorry for the mess. I'll clean it up. Nope, I should have figured this would happen. Just wait here while I get you a glass of water and get it all sorted out. Hey, wait, Ella, don't bother cleaning this all up. I've got a spell. Give me a moment. Ella looks a bit confused. You a mage? Guess that makes sense. What other reason would a dragon can have for leaving Antalis to go here? She shrugs. Sometimes you're just born here. Her words go right past me as I fumble with the inner pocket of my robe, reaching for my wand. Putting my hand inside it feels quite nice, what with the magic circles emitting heat that line the inside. I'm almost distracted, but a passing hint of rancid smell on the floor reminds me why I'm here. Ugh. I fish the wand out alongside a small wooden box. I opened the latch, revealing a set of small leather scrolls. Shit. Which one was it that I needed? I look closer, unfurling them one by one and trying to figure out which magic circle belongs to which spell. One's for moving large objects, one's for heating them up, and one's for repelling water. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Cantor? Cantor? Darwin's behind me. He's pointing towards an empty slot at the end of the box. Underneath it, in small, messy Vidgorian, is written in ink. Cleaning. Ah. It was already in my wand. I close the box and place it neatly back in my robe before aiming my wand at the bile on the ground. Closing my eyes, I try to focus on the mana in my body and imagine it flowing towards the wooden implement in my hand. It'd usually come easier, but my inebriation makes it more difficult than expected. A shudder comes over me as it all flows out, the weight of it all leaving my body. I feel pinpricks on my skin from the overflowing mana as the gem at the tip of my wand begins glowing. Might want to look away. I try to visualize a clean floor. The light spreads and grows in intensity, enough so that I can see it faintly from behind my eyelids. Hey, what the hell is up with that light? Don't look at it, dumbass. Do you want to go blind? I wonder why they're so concerned about it. I'm keeping my magic in check, after all. I figure it's just dwarven superstition. When I open my eyes, the vomit is gone entirely. Ta-da! I can feel my stomach turn. I'm oddly drained. Might be a side effect of casting magic while inebriated. Whatever, I'll manage. I sit back down. The tavern is entirely silent. What, never seen a mage cast a spell before? Well, certainly nothing that flashy, though I'm quite thankful for the thorough cleaning. Thorough? Flashy? It was just a bit of vomit. I look around. It doesn't take me long for me to realize that it was not just a bit of vomit. It was more like the whole tavern. Darwin simply glances around, snickering to himself before bursting out laughing. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Aha! Sorry about that. Are you kidding? You just saved me a whole day's worth of work. Shit, want anything to eat or drink after all that? On the house. I feel an emptiness in my stomach. If I really did cast such a spell, then it would make sense that I'm so hungry. Well, any food would be good, whatever you got on hand, and water. Probably best to lay off the liquor for the night for both of us. Alright then, be back soon. Wow, throwing up was worth it just for that. Was it now? Of course, I don't even need to wash my shirt anymore. I don't think you get how useful this is. I shrug. Well, anyways, what were we doing? Darwin stares vacantly into space for a moment. It's not surprising given what we just drank. Oh, yeah, my turn. Shit, what I want to ask. No matter, how about this? Darwin rises from his seat with a bang before pointing at me. What's your favorite thing you've done? The best thing you've ever experienced? Huh, my favorite experiences. I pry through my mind for anything like that. Well, back in Antalis, there was this guy. Actually, forget that. I have a better one. Back when there were still keystones to mine, more groups of miners frequented the bathhouses, and when things heated up, Darwin seems to glance nervously to the side, looking at the group of miners at the other end of the tavern. Well, you can figure the rest out for yourself. So one time there was this other guy who seemed to satisfy Darwin. Well, sex and all that aside, those types of answers don't tell me much about you. Now you're just changing the rules. I should have answered me the day I got married or something like that. Which, by that logic, wouldn't tell me much about you either. Called it. Fine, then. Your turn. As I ponder my next question, Ella comes over with 2 glasses of water and a plate full of arranged food of all kinds. This is for you two. If you need more, just holler at me and I'll bring some more food over. Darwin beams at the array in front of him. Oh, just what I needed. Thank you very much. No problem, fellas. I take a piece of grilled meat off of the plate and toss it into my mouth. Now then, what should I ask Darwin? Up the ante, ask about werebear sex. I'm gonna save that. About his job. I guess I'm pretty curious about what it is that you actually do at the garrison. You're not a regular guard, right? And I'm going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I want to also let y'all know, Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Hope you have a great day with your friends and family and loved ones. And if you don't go anywhere, just chill out and have a nice, relaxing day. But anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.